For the last 3 years, I've been working with 5-metre saltwater crocodiles, and in my time as a zookeeper, I've heard quite a few myths and misconceptions about crocodiles and alligators and crocodilians in general. Now, if I'm unsure about any of the facts, there's this one book that I use. Now, this is the Biology and Evolution of Crocodilians. And for me, this is the Crocodile Bible. If I want to know anything about whatever crocodilian in the world, this is the book. So today, I will predominantly be giving you facts about the saltwater crocodiles because that's what I work with. But after this video, what I want is for you to just appreciate crocodilians in general just a little bit more. Let's get right into it. All right, fact number 1. So in the park that I work with, we mainly work with saltwater crocodiles, and we often get the question, how long can this crocodile hold its breath for? Now, on average, they stay down for about an hour and a half quite easily. But when the weather conditions are nice and cool, crocodiles have been recorded to stay underwater for about 7 to 8 hours at a time. Now, I can't hold my breath for any longer than a minute. But crocodiles can actually hold their breath for a long time by slowing down their heart rate. Now that means if I go for a run, my heart's pounding in my chest, right? Same with the crocodile. If it's stressed out, heart's pounding, it will not be able to hold its breath as long. So what they can do, they slow down their heart rate to about 5 beats a minute. They're ultra zen, and this allows them to actually stay underwater for longer periods of time. They just slow their body down. How cool is that? Now that we know that crocodiles can stay underwater for a long time and just basically hold their breath. Now, they've got lungs, but the cool thing about the way they use these lungs brings me to fact number 2. Crocodiles weigh up to 1,000 kilos in weight sometimes. And even though their weight is heavy, the way they regulate their buoyancy, the way they float in the water like a feather is just a miracle. These guys will take a big breath of air, and just like us, when we breathe in, they just stay afloat a lot easier. They will stick close to neutral buoyancy. So they breathe in, they stay afloat. They breathe out, they sink down. Not only that, they can slightly shift their organs around. So basically, the lungs are here. They can move the lungs back, which makes the liver move out of the way too. And this way, they just regulate the buoyancy and how they stay afloat. I would love to be able to just shift my organs around. When I go swimming in freshwater, I sink down to the bottom like a rock. Now, ever since coming to Australia, I did pack up a bit of weight because of all the beef pies, but besides that point, it would be pretty awesome. Speaking of food, when crocodiles chew on their food, when they're born, they've got these needle-like teeth. This is a saltwater crocodile tooth. It's from a little juvenile crocodile. You can see it's fairly sharp, isn't it? Because they need these sharp teeth to slice through their fish, through the food that they're trying to eat. The big crocodiles, they don't need these sharp teeth. They've got these really big bullet-shaped teeth. Now that's just for holding onto the prey, and once they've got a hold, they'll do a death roll. The cool thing about these teeth is that the saltwater crocodile will carry on average about 66 of these bullet-shaped teeth. Now they bash them out all the time, just like sharks, right? They replace their teeth all the time. What people don't know is that the bottom of the tooth is actually hollow. So that means that if they bash out a tooth, there's already a new tooth growing inside of there, so that when they bash it out, there's a new one ready to go. So these crocodiles will never really run out of teeth until they're about 70 years old, and that's when it slows down. But how cool is this? People see these big chompers on the big crocodiles, but they don't realize that the bottom is actually hollow. Let me tell you a little bit about me. So when I was about 3 to 4 years old, I stopped eating rocks. Crocodiles, alligators, they eat rocks, and even though the research is fairly vague about this, it's not 100% clear, originally they thought that crocodiles and alligators would eat these rocks to digest their food, almost like a chicken eating grit. They've done a bit more research, and this picture actually displays it so well. So they do actually use that rock in the middle of their stomach to regulate their buoyancy a little bit better. So it's basically a natural weight belt. If you eat a rock as an alligator, not as a person, and in the warmer time of year you want to stay on the bottom a little bit more, then you don't have to regulate your buoyancy as much. If you want to stay down, you just eat a few rocks. Now, you might wonder, how do you get rid of these rocks? You don't want to poop them out. You don't want to cuff them back up either. So what these crocodilians would actually do, their stomach acid is so strong, it just slowly digests inside of their stomach. We haven't really seen this with the crocodiles that we've got in captivity, but in the wild, the research is clear. There have been crocodiles near Lake Argo in Western Australia where they have just found this handful of rocks inside of their stomach. It's absolutely fascinating. So whatever you do, don't eat rocks because you're not a crocodile. But just the more you know, right? And I think I've kind of bombarded you with quite a few questions by now, but the last fact I kind of want to share with you today is their eyes. Their eyesight is extremely good. They've got almost a 360 vision around themselves. They can't really see directly behind their eyes or right in the middle. So it's like a 160, 170 degree view on either side. Have you ever noticed that when a crocodile is underwater, their eyes look very opaque or like hazy, almost like the crocodile is blind? These crocodiles are not blind. What they've got is built-in goggles. They've got an extra membrane, so just like us, they've got a top and a bottom eyelid, and then on top of that, they've got this clear eyelid that moves over their eye. Now that would actually allow the crocodiles to see a lot better, and it would keep all the dirty bacteria out of their eye when they're living in the dirty water like they would naturally. Crocodiles got built-in goggles. How cool is that? I feel like today I went pretty in depth about these crocodilians and their organs and their insides, but if you want to know more about the exterior, like the armor on these crocodiles, then let me know. I can talk about crocodiles all day long. So if you want to know more about crocodiles or crocodilians in general, yeah, feel free to let me know. Post some questions down in the comments. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.